What is going on, guys? Name's D-Free. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about the recently released Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta card. I don't know if we'll talk about Omega. He is down here, but we'll talk about SS4 Gogeta. Of course, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are new, punch the subscribe button. Leave a like, of course, if you do enjoy the video. But that being said, we're going to talk about the possibility of Gogeta getting a buff. Now, I want to say first and foremost that this is not a confirmed thing. It's totally plausible. It's definitely possible. I'd say that the option is definitely on the table because of some of the fallout in the community with Gogeta, right? Because for a long time, Gogeta was this myth that everybody wanted to come in and just be incredibly OP, and rightfully so, right? Because SS4 Goku and Vegeta are so good. And of course, this is Gogeta. He's one of the most powerful characters in all of Dragon Ball, so he had to come in and be that, and people really want him to be an LR. I don't know if those expectations were warranted to that extent, but, you know, people did want him to be really good. And not to say he isn't good, right? I mean, if you look at his 100% stats, that's what these are. Like, he's 100% in the potential system. These are not his base stats at being level 120 as a TUR, right? He'd be freaking incredible if that was the case. Him and Omega have crazy high stats, but these are his 100% stats. But if you look at the card, right, he's got those crazy good stats, almost over 10,000 defense as well, over 15,000 attack and HP. No leader skill listed, but he does have 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha, which raises his attack and defense for one turn. It says greatly generally equates to a 100% increase. And he does immense damage to the enemy. It doesn't say that he debuffs or anything with the super. That's fine. Also, he gets a flat-out 120% attack increase. Secondly, he has SSB Vegeta's passive there where it says extreme type enemies. So in my earlier video, if you haven't checked it out, I did a full breakdown of these guys. But in my earlier video, I said that it's allies because I was looking at Merge Zamasu for whatever. I was caught up in the hype. Don't at me. But he does debuff the enemy, which is great. Unfortunately, it's only against extreme types, meaning against, you know, Janemba's event, Cooler's event, which is cool, I guess. But, like, it would be cool if you could use it on any event, right? You know, when you're fighting SS4 Gogeta's event with the SS4 Gogeta, wouldn't it be nice if you could lower his attack with that passive, or SS4 Goku's, or whatever, right? So that's the main problem with that little portion, but it is a little gimmick that is a plus. It's definitely a plus to be able to do that regardless of whether it activates all the time or not. He has a high chance, okay, so not medium or small, high, which is generally 50% in this game, of dodging the enemy's super attack and then countering it with tremendous power. So basically, he's got a better chance to do that than the SS4s do, the Goku and Vegeta units do, which is, once again, warranted, right? So where does this unit need a buff at specifically? A lot of it comes down to the link skill. I think Animated Muscle dropped a video talking about it. I actually, unfortunately, didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. I've been really busy. But his link set, I think, definitely could use some work. Now, to give a little bit of context, there is a little bit of speculation that this could be fake or a troll. I'm not going to say that. I think Renzi is a cool guy. Haven't had much opportunity to talk to him, but I'm good friends with TLM and Zenron, a couple other guys that can vouch for him well. But they also did say, hey, it would be crazy if this guy just wanted to just troll the community. I don't think that's the case. But what they did say is, I tried to get a little bit of information out of TLM. He did say that basically this information leaked on a test server, and the test server, from my understanding, digging a little bit, and from what TLM said, is a server that Bandai uses to test out application updates. So this was across that, and he's leaked other things from there before in the past. So it's totally plausible. I'm going to function as if this is exactly what they have. But if you look at it, leader skill is to be determined, basically. Same goes for Omega. That means that there is still some work to be done here. They will revisit this unit, right? It is not 100% complete. By the way, they did list, the data miners did find that there is a date for release, August 4th. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know exactly what time it is, like probably after midnight or something like that, probably 10 p.m. I don't know. But Pacific. So really just like a week and a half away or whatever that is. So it's totally plausible that they make a change, because if you look at his link set, I'm not sure as to why he has Saiyan Roar, or he does not have Saiyan Roar, excuse me. He is an SS4 unit, means that he has some ape integration, meaning that he should have Saiyan Roar, especially if Goku and Vegeta have it. It seems like they got really key link heavy, and I was really hoping that they wouldn't do that. All the time, they would kind of talk about, you know, you guys would talk about in my fan-made videos, SS4 Gogeta, you guys are just full in a bunch of key links, because in all seriousness, he could have shocking speed. he could have Over in a Flash because those both literally fit the character, right? This guy like punched Omega before Omega could even see it. And, you know, Over in a Flash, it doesn't last long. It literally fits the character. Kamehameha Super Saiyan GT. He has to have GT. He also has to have Fierce Battle and Fused Fighter. But this is where, to kind of get into the point, this guy kind of falls a little short of expectation. Once again, he'd still be top 3 unit on Global because he's coming to Global first, apparently. But this is where he kind of falls short of expectation, is in comparison to Omega. Now, I don't know if they're going to be the hero-villain leads. There's some speculation that they'll also come in and be the actual 120 leads instead of Cooler and SS3 Angel Goku that JP has, which I don't really know if that'll happen. I think it's possible, but I swear to God, the game is rooted in JP, and that's where the offices are for developing both versions of the game, right? So the Akatsuki, they handle it. No, not Naruto, but that's literally the name of the development team for this game. Not Bandai. Bandai doesn't manage this stuff. They handle this, and that player base would literally revolt. But it's a good way. We talked about this earlier in our YouTuber chat. It's a good way to incentivize the paying players to actually, I'm free to play, by the way, just joking. The free to play players, or excuse me, the paying players, to actually go ahead and spend money, because the longest time we have had the ability from Global's perspective to say, okay, JP's getting this. Oh, wait, JP's getting that. I'm going to skip this and just wait to summon there, right? Because, I mean, Cooler's coming, but feasibly, the best time to get Cooler would be on Janemba's banner from what we've seen from JP, which means you have to wait a little bit longer, but you have more of a chance to get him and other God leads. Same goes for anything else that comes in between Gogeta and now. So that would be a good way to be able to avoid that and negate that. I wonder if Bandai has caught on to that. But honestly, in all seriousness, right, I'm sorry, but Omega is a better unit. And I don't know if I'm supposed to, I'm not going to say too much, but let's just say that Omega is among top 2 hardest hitters in the game, including probably Gogeta and Goku, probably top 3. And I'm not going to talk about where Omega ranks in that because I don't know if that's supposed to be publicized yet. But let's just say Omega hits really hard. And he also is 120% up like the Gogeta. He debuffs better. He debuffs better. All enemies, like, there's no restriction on that. They both lose 20%. Literally what I was just talking about, Omega does it on Gogeta, where he only does it to one type. So he doesn't get the massive increase on the super attack. Instead, he greatly lowers defense because, damn it, that's the most generic thing they can give to villains, and they still continue to do it. And then on top of that, he launches an additional attack, which has a chance to become a super attack. That right there is literally him being cooler. There's been memes about this already. He's literally physical cooler, but better. That is exactly what he is. And unfortunately, I don't know if Gogeta could compete with physical cooler because, I'm sorry, I'm just being blunt with you guys. I know that Gogeta's a fan favorite, of course, and you're still going to summon for him instead, which I would implore you do, right? Go ahead and summon for what you want. But I've said it, and I will continue to say that the chance to evade and counter a super attack is not a good, air quotes up, mechanic. The traditional counters from Vegito are better. It's a gimmick. It is what it is. It probably is best on SS4 Vegeta because he can actually feasibly go into a horde of attacks, you know, and still tank those normal attacks. This guy can tank pretty well too, especially if you get him higher in the potential system, but that's only for one turn, so it's never going to stack. So where can this guy actually get better? All right, let's go ahead and talk about this. Where can he get better? Because I honestly think that Omega's ability to get that second attack and then being physical unit, meaning he can get a free without a dupe third attack potentially, and they all could be super attacks. I don't think Gogeta has a way to compete with that. Of course, Omega has significantly more attack links. Look at this. Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, Shadow Dragons, which is 15% with Sin Shenron, who is also an extreme physical unit. He has a built-in buddy. This pairing of Sin and Omega is probably better. Wrong unit, by the way. It's probably better than SS4 Goku and SS3 Ape Goku. Like, it's literally on that tier. It's on the tier of full power Frieza and cooler. So this is why I think in large part Omega's going to get overlooked, but he doesn't deserve it, right? He's got significantly more attack links. So where can Gogeta actually feasibly get better? Well, for one, I'm not sure why he doesn't have prepared for battle. Probably because he's tech, and that isn't super prevalent on Super Tech's team. Of course, you have Go Tanks and things like that. You don't run a lot of units that actually have that. I'm thinking about it, and I mean, if you're looking at JP's game, the JP version, the whole team is technically either over in a flash or fused fighter, so it's not that big of a deal. But what can they do? They could give him over in a flash. No, excuse me, not over in a flash. They could probably drop. This is where it gets funny because he has to have GT and Kamehameha and Fierce Battle down here. He has to have those links, and he has to have Super Saiyan. So the key links are the only ones that can go away. He has to have Fused Fighter. Shocking Speed and Over in a Flash are the only intangible ones. What they could do, right, is replace those two for, or at least Shocking Speed for Saiyan Roar, right? Because if he's the hero leader, I think that's a 25% attack in Link or something like that. Correct me if I'm mistaken. It's 15, 20, 25. One of the two, it's probably 25. Is a very good Link either way. If he's the hero leader, it's 100% usable. Unfortunately, on tech, I don't know if there's anybody you would run on super tech that has that link, unless he drops with another unit that would literally function as a best buddy for him on a tech mono team if he's a tech leader. So I think that it's plausible that these guys pop in as being the new hero villain leads. It would make sense because if you look at it, basically what I was talking about previously, if you're going to go ahead and play the game on Global's player base, you've obviously been aware of what's dropped on JP, so you do have the ability to take a look at what comes down the pipeline later and avoid it. If you summon Omega, you're probably not going to avoid a lot of those banners, right? Or at least try to get most of those villain units, because unfortunately villain units, they don't get the love. I mean, they're all really good. They just don't get the love or the playing. It's just what it is. So if they do something like this, that does, once again, incentivize the player base to go ahead and move forward with those types of units. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think they could do, aside from implementing Saiyan Roar, which will help him in a hero-based atmosphere. They could probably allow him to tank for more than one turn, right? Not to say he can't outright take an attack, but I'm not going to ever, right, on a hero team, especially on Global, that'll have LR Vegito Blue, I am never going to throw this guy in between 3 or 4 attacks at the hope of him being able to counter one super attack. I would rather, out of those 4 attacks, allow for Vegito Blue to go in there, assuming that it's the same unit, mitigation and all that, be able to counter 3 of them and then tank 1. You probably net less damage, especially because Gogeta is, once again, even though it's a high chance, which generally is a 50% chance to do it, it's still RNG. So you go in there, he takes 2 or 3 attacks, then he actually gets a super attack off, which may or may not kill the enemy. If it doesn't, he gets a defensive improvement. So from there, if there's 2 more attacks after that, 1 normal, 1 super, he will actually tank that normal attack first, assuming that the super doesn't come through. If the super comes through, it's against an event that actually greatly lowers defense, similar to Omega. His tanking will be gone, especially if he doesn't counter it. So, I don't know. There are safer units to throw into those hordes like that, which is my problem with these units. Not just him, but these units that get that nasty defensive improvement. I just don't like it. I don't like it because it's easily negated in the game. Piccolo, Vegeta, SS4, all these units. Vegito is probably still a top 3 tank in the game, even with those guys floating around. But that's me. I've gone ahead and basically talked you guys' zero off. I want you guys to let me know what they could do potentially to update these units. Keep in mind, I explain how this works. It is 100% plausible that these units are not finished. That also means Omega could get better or worse, right? We don't know what they will look like when this all is done, but they should come out soon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. If you have anything to leave in the comments, I'll be looking down there. Once again, leave a like. If you did enjoy it, subscribe if you're new for more content, and let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys. Oh, yeah. Not saying Gogeta SS4 is crap. Not saying he's crap. Not saying he's shit. Just saying he could be better. Just saying he could be a lot better without being OP, because he's already OP. He's not going to get more OP. It's just Gogeta is SS4. And right now, I feel like he struggles to be better than SS4 Goku. That's just me. I don't really see where it is. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.